Hi everybody, welcome to this UOB BizSmart Google SME Leadership Academy online content. My name is Sean Burke and I'm part of the regional management team overseeing BizSmart for Southeast Asia. What we're going to be doing today is taking you through the suite itself in terms of BizSmart solutions and what's included in that. And then we're going to dive into individual segments that you can scroll through based on the time markers that will be made clear to you. We're going to walk through our F&B offering, what we're doing in the retail space, what we're doing to aid you in HRM space, and then what we can do next steps and actions to close out. So first segment, we're looking at our suite and solutions. So BizSmart, as a starting point, is a program of business management solutions for SMEs to manage your end-to-end business activities through web and mobile applications. Across the board, we're all web enabled, and we mostly have mobile applications to support that. Looking at the solution mechanics, we're looking at areas of accounting and finance, CRM, invoicing and inventory control, payroll and HR management, business intelligence, and bank feeds. Some of the call out capabilities that come from that is your ability to manage your business performance, your financial reporting, your core accounting. We are connected with things such as PayNow and other UOB connections like the bank feed, which gives you your quick bank reconciliation and up-to-date view of your cash flow. There's dashboards. We're connected to a few different local requirements around NTB, POS, and nets. And also we are PEPL enabled in line with SGE Invoice or Invoice Now as it's been called. So what solutions are actually in the suite? First up at the core, we have Enterprise, which is powered by SAP B1. This is a front-end interface for small businesses to use and get the power of the B1 database and workflow without having to buy SAP B1 off the shelf. This is in collaboration with UOB partnership with SAP that we've created. Attached to that is HR Easily. That's our core HRM solution for payroll, leave management, claims, and things like that. And I'll take you through that in a later segment. Looking at vertical industry solutions, we have for F&B both Easy Procure for fresh goods procurement and Gets for digitizing your whole F&B business, and then Shopmatic for e-commerce solutions. One of the questions we get commonly asked, and a good starting point, is why is UOB actually working in this space? After all, we're a bank. Typically, we're here to take your deposits, lend money, and help you grow your business with financial tools. However, over a period of time, we've been listening and we've been asking our customers, what do they want? You can see the call outs on screen here, but essentially the answer is they wanted more. Us to help customers in a more meaningful way. And the best way we figured we can do that is looking at tools that help you grow your business and that work intelligently with your financial processes, where we can help as a whole your business succeed and thrive. And that's what we've done with curating BizSmart. At the core of BizSmart is enterprise accounting, as I've mentioned. A couple of components I want to talk about here. Obviously, there's way too much to show screen by screen. So at the end, you'll get a chance to connect with us and we can take you through the product in more detail. But essentially, a couple of things around bank integrations, which helps keep your banking up to date, gives you a real-time view of your cash flow, which is quite critical when you're trying to figure out who you've paid and who owes you, and just get your hands around the essence of the cash flow within the business. It is cloud-based and web application-based, meaning you can go mobile. And in today's environment, as you can see, I'm at home. We're all working from home mostly. Enabling your staff to be able to work remotely via web or via mobile app and keep in touch with what they're doing is really critical. So we enable that. Scalability is a big component of enterprise as well, because you're starting with the enterprise solution, which is built off of an SAP B1 database. That means as your business grows and hopefully you become wildly successful and need a much larger solution for your business, such as a full-blown enterprise grade ERP, you can move forward with SAP and into their larger product suite in the future rather seamlessly. And it takes a lot of the pain and headache away from looking at that set of changes. Around integrated solutions, Enterprise has built-in API connectivity, which means depending on what solutions you require for your business, they either already have a connection with them or can quite easily build a bespoke connection for you as a part of the onboarding and integration process. With integrated connection collection capabilities built on the back of UOB's Pay Now capabilities, Enterprise allows you through mobile and web application collect money seamlessly from customers. This means that when you're out and about, or if you have staff who are customer facing but on the road, providing services perhaps, what you don't want is them having to carry a lot of cash or having the issue of issuing old style invoices to customers who could just pay you on the spot. So this integrated pay now capability allows you to bring up the invoice on your phone, select the right customer, produce a dynamic QR code, and collect that money uniquely against that actual transaction. What this means is that you get payment straight away, you get a notification within 30 seconds, and you get a reconciliation file at the end of the day, which tells you the people you've collected money from successfully and what for. So it takes all the hassle and issues around anonymously connecting money and this long tail reconciliation or remittance that can happen when you use other digital wallets. And finally, connecting into the business network. SG Peppol is a big deal now, and e-invoicing is picking up pace in Singapore. So we're already a part of that and a part of the group that are spearheading that initiative. So next up, we're going to look at UOB BizSmart for food and beverage, which is our solution, Gets. So what is Gets? Essentially, it's a PSG pre-approved food tech and fintech solution. What they do is digitize the entirety of your F&B business from end to end with as little as an iPad and a little bit of engagement and some really smart thinking. We're looking at your in-store, your online, your contactless dine-in and takeaway, and your delivery as well. End to end, it covers the whole solution. There's also an integrated free point of sale that you can avail of, which is a part of this transformation that makes the whole thing work as a whole. The problem situation for most F&Bs is that as you attempt to bring in tools and solutions that claim to grow and scale your business, without them actually working seamlessly together, they also scale up your administration and effort, which means they're actually scaling up your cost. So it's nullifying any of the benefits of taking on those solutions. This is quite frustrating for F&B businesses. We talk to them quite frequently and they're being told digitize and digitize, but the effort to do so can often wipe out any of the benefits. Your tools for being in store, digital, and scaling your online services need to work with your front of house and your back of house. I'll let you come back and pause on this slide yourself. You can figure out, essentially we're saying these things don't really connect together in today's scenario. So what if you can digitally transform across all your services with just an iPad and without having to integrate your POS, transforming very quickly, 2 weeks, and seeing a pretty hefty cost savings because you can scale up your services without having to scale up your headcount costs. The way they do this is within the first week, we look at your online transformation. This is your online store that you own and brand and that people can find you and they can buy from you quite easily. And then looking at your in-store transformation, seamlessly connecting your order through to processing, through to service, through to collection, making those no-touch scenarios so that you can more easily serve more customers faster without having to scale up your headcount costs. Again, I'll let you go through this slide yourself and have a look at what they're talking about. These things, when they're connected together, allows you to actually scale up your offering without scaling up your administrative costs. And that's the really critical piece. From an in-store contactless dine-in and takeaway experience, the customer is simply scanning a QR code, which can sit on a physical menu or simply be stickered to a table. They're going into a browser-based app. They're not having to download anything, which is annoying for customers. They simply scan, look at the beautifully laid out app, find the things they want. They're getting connected to cross and upsell in the app. This is something servers are not typically good at, but it is also an expectation upon them, where if you're buying a certain meal, why aren't you getting this other piece of food that connects to that meal and will enhance it? So in the app, it's making those intelligent connections based on the preset that you put in, so that you're never missing those opportunities. Upsell and cross-sell is covered. Intelligent membership retention is also quite critical. It's one of the ways that Gets promises to drive your repeat business and increase your revenue. Through the checkout process, you're automatically capturing the required data to put that customer as a member, so to speak, into your database. If they don't come back within 30 days and cross your threshold, they're automatically sent some teasers in terms of vouchers or discounts or whatever proposition you build into the solution to tease them back in store. So you're guaranteeing that you're getting that reconnect and driving that repeat business. For online, you're provided with this web tool that allows you to drive your advanced pickup and also Isle of Mind delivery. That's doing the common things you would expect if you connected to another platform, but you're owning them in your own space, assigning to your nearest outlet, setting your delivery fees according to how you want to do that, intelligent upselling and drive-through like the dine-in, and then multi-delivery fleets can be connected through to the tools, so you don't have to scale up your own resources in that area. So similar to the dine-in scenario, online has a very similar workflow, also with a browser-based mobile optimized page. Exact same scenario, except towards the end, you're going through the fulfillment and delivery segment that captures where the customer is and when the food is being delivered to them. On top of this, you may be thinking, well, what happens if something goes wrong? Typically speaking, customer experience, if things go wrong, is not great. Where if I order food through one of the existing platforms, something doesn't work, I have to talk to that platform. Then they might talk to your restaurant. And by the time we figure it out, guaranteed the food cost is sunk, the food is probably spoilt or lost, and you have to do the order again or risk losing your reputation with that customer. In this scenario, because you own the online connection with the customer, Gets provides a service where they are monitoring and managing that delivery profile in your system so that they can see if things are going wrong, such as deliveries that don't have times assigned to them, or deliveries that are due to be delivered soon but don't yet have a driver assigned to them. They are preemptively and proactively looking through, either with digital tools or with people, these delivery slots and ensuring before something goes wrong, they catch it and they let you know. And so there's also a connection through a chat app with you, and they can connect to drivers as well. This level of support is phenomenal for your business because you don't have to scale up your resources to manage it, and it means you don't need another headcount doing this. They do this as a part and parcel of the overall service. So the whole picture looks like this: in-store contactless dine-in, your in-store contactless takeaway, out-of-store advanced pickup, and delivery, all taken care of, and the only tool you need to take on board is an iPad or another tablet. It says iPad, I'm sure they prefer Apple, but I'm sure it can be a different tablet as well. This gives you the ability to digitize, optimize, and scale up each of these sales channels without having to scale up your admin resources or your service-based resources. It's a phenomenal proposition that increases revenue, decreases cost at the same time. Takes only 7 days to work through, from contract signing through to live training in store, so it's quite quick to get set up and operational. And the results speak for themselves. I'll let you scroll through these yourself, but the key takeouts here are that it drives your financial performance, it's optimizing your service side of the business, you're getting marketing out of this because you're owning your own brand in your own digital space instead of seeding that into another digital platform. So instead of searching for a food type, I'm more likely to find your brand. So your brand can live and breathe in its own space. And the support operation, which is critical, as I said, not having to scale up your admin resources to drive these tools to work for your business. It comes as part of the service. And essentially, the customers speak for themselves. On screen here, you see the range of customers that are already working with Get successfully and have gone through this transformation and scaled up these tools within their business. I'm sure the Gets team would love to hear from you. As I said before, there'll be an opportunity, the QR code at the end of this video that allows you to connect with our team, and we will make the relevant connections from there. Next up, we're going to look at the retail space. And for this, we have our partner, Shopmatic. So one of the big challenges around retail is the changing profile of consumers and their behavior, which basically means more consumers are searching online before making a purchase decision. There's a much higher frequency of multi-category shoppers, so there's not always that ability to seamlessly categorize them and target them as you would before, and digital consumers are increasing. This is often categorized as buyer 2.0, more highly informed, more research oriented, and less likely to speak to a salesperson to figure out what the detail of their purchase item is. They've already made that research before. They're just coming to negotiate price. So that can be challenging for businesses. Also, unavoidable is the context that we're living in now around COVID-19. There's been some really harsh lessons for those that weren't prepared, and really big rewards for those that were. A couple of cases out of the US and really, really large businesses. JCPenney almost went under. I'm not sure if that's fully transpired. Whereas Walmart, because they were already set up with a really robust e-commerce capability, their business has actually rocketed. So it's pretty telling, and you guys in the space, you'll already know from your retail business how things have gone. But the beauty of being in Singapore is that there's a lot of motivation in the government space to help you out, and there's a lot of ways that you can avail of discounts, grants, support, and help across the board to keep your business alive and to get things back on track and get ahead of the curve in terms of digitizing. But where do you fit on the e-commerce landscape? It can be quite daunting because there's a lot of options to make. The way we're depicting it here is talking about in the C to consumer space, ones you know, such as Carousel is a good example. Are you in the business to consumer where you've got a branded store, physical, brick based, or brick and click, where you're more the business to consumer marketplace? Such as, are you buying goods, placing them on somewhere such as Lazada and letting other people buy them, but you don't own that space digitally? Or you basically like Alibaba B2B? The questions you might want to ask yourself is, what do you want to own? What do you want to focus your time and effort on? And where do you have skills and capabilities to do so? Social channels are great, but they don't have end-to-end fulfillment, shipping, 3PL, things like that to actually get products to customers. Marketplaces can be really good as well, but it's highly competitive and quite commoditized because your brand identity is frequently stripped away from the customer experience. They go looking for a product, your product, like many other similar products, are presented, and it comes down to price, which removes your ability to really engage the customer on a different level. And then owning your own store, creating your own brand, but it requires marketing resources to drive discovery. So even if you know things like search engine optimization, search engine management, paid digital advertising can get quite expensive, particularly when you're competing for common AdWords. So this space becomes difficult. One of the ways to solve this is looking at a tool such as Shopmatic that can plug in and solve a multitude of these challenges for you at the same time. These are some of the dynamics we would expect you look at when you're considering a tool like this. I'll let you go through them yourself. I won't do them one by one, but the key takeout that we're proposing here is that Shopmatic covers them all. So what Shopmatic does in terms of capabilities, it's not nickel and diming you on uploads and things like that. You can have unlimited uploads. You can manage your own online space in terms of your own digital presence quite easily, and they give you the tools to do that. There is integrated payment. There is integrated social sharing. They help you secure and set up your own domain names, your advanced editor across that digital space. There's automated logistics built into the tool, and selling on marketplaces and social can be done seamlessly. So we're talking about more of an omni-channel approach. You've heard this a lot, this buzzword around omni-channel selling, which basically means you can sell the same items out of a single consolidated inventory repository across multiple channels at the same time, and not having to have these issues where if I sell one item on Lazada, but I also happen to sell it through another channel, and now I've got some issues servicing two customers, but I've run out of inventory. They help you manage that process so that you can keep a hold of this, but not reduce your opportunity to sell to more customers. The way they're significantly differentiated is around the way these tools work all as one package. The integrated marketplace and social channels, as well as the integrated shipping, and as well as the integrated payment capabilities are quite interesting. No HTML or CSS. Basically, that means you don't need to pay a web developer to build the website, and that's only the start of it. Maintaining and updating a website and hosting it is a long-term perpetual cost. Doing it this way means Shopmatic take care of that for you. You're building off of templates that look great. You can put them together the way you like, but you're not having to continuously pay designers and coders to build that for you. So this is a light example here, just a template of what it can look like. Nice hero images, place your call to actions, placing in your headline items in terms of your inventory, and building up your brand. So this is a part of the service that they will give to you. You don't need any coding knowledge to maintain this online store. Your product catalog can be managed on mobile or desktop. It's very straightforward. Photographing and loading items is helped by Shopmatic, and then managing them through the solution is quite easy. You can manage your pricing. You can manage pricing across different platforms as well. And in terms of order management, you get a dashboard for this as well. This allows you through one space to view, manage, and take care of all of the orders that you have running out of your business at any one point in time. And you can see where they've bought, how they've paid, where it's going, and when it's happening. That way then you can preempt any issues and manage any potential inventory or stock-based challenges. So in terms of a go live checklist, the kind of things that they'd like you to be thinking about is in terms of your website, do you have a domain name? Do you have your logos? Do you have your hero brand images for your homepage? Do you have your product images, your product title descriptions, and your list pricing? This is also the search engine optimization works, that everything is correctly tagged and it all works together. So when people look for your brand, they find what they're looking for. Do you have the operations set up so that you have your account to collect the funds and you have your business email and all that kind of stuff? And with your marketing side, even if you don't have this in-house, you could contract this briefly. You only need a starting amount of content in terms of keywords and the bio of your business and things like that. Essentially what this means is that if you were looking at going into the e-commerce space and you're finding solutions that don't cover all of this, then they're probably not thinking about your business holistically. Whereas Shopmatic is looking at this from a very end-to-end perspective, and they give you everything out of the box. Our final segment that we're going to be looking at today is the BizSmart HRM solution, which is HR Easily. So HR Easily is a solution that's been around Asia for quite a number of years now. They're localized in about 8 countries regionally, and they do have a generic global edition for other markets. What the solution gives you is payroll, leave, claims, and time and attendance. Now, these capabilities might be things that you are currently doing manually, and you might think it's fine and it's easy, but as things scale up and you hire more people, it gets more challenging. Also, if you are paying people to spend a lot of time managing the data around these business functions, they could probably spend that time doing more valuable work for your business than just doing admin. So payroll, everyone knows what you're talking about. CPF calculations, time worked calculations, deductions, equating to a final number, and then you have to pay that to your employee. The process by which you do that can be quite arduous though. Making sure that you have the right time calculated, you've brought into account any deductions in terms of leave, you've calculated the correct CPF deduction amount, and that you've applied it all correctly before you then go to transact and pay your employee. Whereas this can be done mostly in an automated way because a lot of the details that are inputs are fixed. The variable can be captured then through the other system capabilities such as time and attendance and leave. In terms of leave, they can do it seamlessly through the app. It means there's no awkward processes where they're trying to find out what are they owed, what are they available to take, booking it in, going through the approval process, which right now, while we're a distributed workforce, can be quite challenging. So doing it this way means you get the right visibility of the right information through the app, and that you get the right approval process connected to that, so it works fast and it works pretty seamlessly. Claims is also another one for expense management, can be painful, and doing this within the same application means that you're getting the same automated workflows between approvers, makers, checkers, that type of thing, and that it gives an easy way for you to preset and communicate very clearly to your staff what qualifies as a claimable expense, and how they can go through and make that claim. You hear these stories of sometimes staff members incurring costs that they shouldn't, and then coming back at a later date and saying, I'm owed thousands of dollars as a big surprise. We can avoid that. You set the policy, you set the claim process, and they just follow the prompts in the app to make it happen. And time and attendance, this one's a quite interesting one, particularly in today's times. It means your staff can log in via a photograph showing with the GPS tagging that where they are. So if you have a business where people may be checking in to work when they've already arrived on site at a customer's business for services they're providing, or you want to know that they're in the office when you're not in the office, this tool gives you the capability of doing that in a fairly non-invasive way. It's simply snap a selfie, click the button, job done. The tool takes care of the rest. This will also calculate your overtime hours, or again, any of the policies that you input to the system around controls, such as overtime that's allowed and where you must be. Do you need to be in the office to qualify for that? These are all connected into the app, and it collects all the relevant information, informs the payroll, so then all you need to do is review, click, and it's done. So when we think about this from an employee perspective, it's very easy to think of HRM as an employer's challenge, but in reality, a lot of the people who are interacting with you on this in this space are your staff. And the easier you make these things for them to use, the more likely they're going to be happy employees, the more likely they're going to follow the rules that you want them to follow, and the less likely you're going to have problems. And problems in the HRM space are typically expensive, at the very least, very annoying to fix. So getting rid of punch cards, getting rid of other manual, difficult to track, difficult to compile data sets means you can focus on other things, and you're giving them a tech-forward solution. Anyone who's hiring people probably my age or younger are probably not wanting to have to give them a timesheet to fill in or a punch card. They're pretty out of date at this point, so it's best to use a digital solution. It makes you more relevant to younger people when you're trying to recruit them into your business. From claims and leave, similarly, it all happens through an app. It means they're not having to go to different web spaces to do these things. It also means you're not having to pay for various different tools to do them. And you're not having to teach them different sets of rules for different applications. If you're anyone who's come from a larger business, you got to go into one web portal to do claims. You got to go to another web portal to do your leave management, and it can be annoying, frankly. Doing this seamlessly through one simple app means that they can just take care of things as they go, nice and easy. And the claims are submitted and attached with receipts in the app based on photos taken by the phone. So it's all data that's sitting on the phone anyway. Payslips is a big one. Annoying if you don't get them, and not everybody even looks at them until they really need to. But if they come back and ask you for payslips historically, it can be quite frustrating having to generate all of that data if you're using manual systems to maintain that process. Payslips are generated automatically, provided to your employees through the application, ready to view. They can look back through history, pick them up seamlessly, no problems at all. What you're effectively doing is putting the effort, essentially the burden of effort, back on the employee to manage their own HRM interactions with your business, but you're giving them a tool that tightly controls policies, inputs, and outcomes. Very, very simple for them to use, much fewer headaches for you, just knowing that these things work, which is important so you can get on with running your business. From here, next steps and actions. Essentially, sign up today. BizSmart, the single QR code will land you into our onboarding flow. You can talk to our specialists who are across all of these solutions, and when you're ready, they can connect you with those solutions to complete your onboarding and setup, depending on which direction you choose to move. Make a plan and get started. It's really easy to talk and look at these things and think that's a good idea, but action speaks louder than words. So we'd love to have a conversation with you and help you figure out how you can adopt some of these tools to grow and build resilience into your business for the future. and take advantage of the grants and support. Across the board, most of these solutions are PSG enabled. We're all on the DRB, the Digital Resilience Bonus, and there are obviously other grants and supports that are constantly coming up. UOB is very heavily connected into that work stream, so we'll ensure that you are definitely taken care of on that front. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you connect with us at BizSmart and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.